hello and wave. And look at her. She's got her little logo up
I
there.
know, right?
Shannon,
Can you see me?
I can't see you, but I can see your beautiful logo. There, now we can see you.
Hi. Oh, hi, everybody. Oh, now this is nice, actually seeing faces.
Shannon, you are in the she shed.
I'm in the she shed. How's the lighting? Like, I'm thinking, okay, what do I need to move?
I think you look good. I think you look good. So just a couple housekeeping things everybody knows that's been on before. I am going to mute everybody right now. And the reason why we do that is just because you hear background noise. You know, if you hear a dog barking or a piece of paper rattle or something, it messes with the camera, and we want it to be focused on Shannon. So I'm going to mute everybody. And then Shannon, I'm going to ask to unmute you. And then if you guys want the best view, you want to change your screen. If you go up into the upper right-hand corner of your screen there, you can hit the view button and you can go into speaker view. And if you want to watch it like on the gallery, I'll probably keep mine on the gallery like this tonight because we've got a good sized group. I'm going to actually spotlight Shannon, so she'll be up in the corner. So everybody will be able to see everybody. We'll be able to ask questions, and it will be a lot of fun. So I'm going to mute everybody right now. I think I saw Shannon's hubby in the corner there. And then Shannon, I am going to spot you. There's Brian. And then I'm going to, when I find the button, hold on. I don't know what I just did.
I just unmuted myself.
Even better, even better. All right, let me lock it down. And how are you doing?
Trying to like figure out the Zoom thing. It's a little stressful.
Yeah, it's a little crazy.
My kids know about all this. I don't.
Even doing a tech run and everything, like it's still like a little like batty. And by the time we're all over the Zoom, we'll be trying to figure out like, how do we go to a real office, or how do we go to and have like a face-to-face meeting?
Yeah.
So how are you doing during COVID? I want to get all those kind of unfun questions out of the way.
I've worked from home for over 10 years, so
no,
it hasn't been a huge shell shock for me.
Yeah, it's funny. I've talked to quite a few people that feel that way too. They're like, it's for some people, it hasn't changed too much. Like, I mean, I went to the office and I traveled a lot for my job, and I'm just staying home and doing it now. I miss the traveling, but when I was home on the weekends or not traveling, I was a homebody anyway. So it just kind of worked out perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest change was just homeschooling, and my kids are 7 years apart, so.
Okay.
There's
So
a big
you've got a big difference. So I want to ask, because I know other people do you have a cocktail in your hand? Glass of wine?
Water.
All right. Tell Brian to go get you something if you need it. But we are so excited to have you. I know you've got 1,000,001 different things going on other than a successful YouTube channel. You actually have 2 YouTube channels.
Yeah.
You have an Etsy store. You have a product line. You're doing an endorsement with super glue.
Yes.
I believe you've got a couple other ones going on, and you're a mom, and you're a newlywed.
Yes.
And you have a great husband who we all want because we want our she sheds as well.
And we have the she shed.
Yes, we have the
So tell us, what aren't you doing?
Sleeping, relaxing, vacationing.
Yeah, trying to keep it all just keep it all going. Obviously we know you're married, you're newlywed. Congrats on that. You mentioned you had kids. What part of the country are you from?
I'm in Southern Illinois, outside of St. Louis, quite a ways. So
nice. I had a very good time in St. Louis not too long ago. It was last year with the cast of Vanderpump Rules from Bravo, and we annihilated that casino that's attached to the Four Seasons Hotel, I think. And
Yeah, it's a little
It
better.
was
There. Okay. Yeah. I've had all you can eat crab legs there. They have an amazing buffet.
definitely took care of those as well. I'm curious about like your creative beginnings is kind of what I like to call it. Were you creative as a kid?
Yeah. Yeah. When I would go to, as a kid, we would go to the library. That was our fun. And you would find me in the craft books. That's what I would do. I would build these parties. Like my birthday is the day before Halloween, and so I would look at all these Halloween craft books and kind of build a party in my mind and decor in my mind. So yeah, forever and ever.
Wow. And how long have you had your current YouTube channel? I guess the Daily DIYer.
Daily DIYer has been, I think it's gonna be 6 years in January since I actually created it.
Very cool. And do you remember your very first like DIY video? Is it still up there? Can we still
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's like over 800 tutorials. And when I first started YouTube, I had this mission to do 100 tutorials. So no matter how bad or good my channel did, I was going to accomplish 100 videos. And so those are all still up. You can still go back and watch them. And actually I numbered them all. So if you go on to my, it's like popular uploads or something, my 19th video is a mason jar, Mod Podge mason jar, and it's one of my #1 videos. Yeah.
How crazy. Do you remember what your very first project was?
I want to say it was probably something really simple and might have been something with wood.
Okay. Do you have a favorite?
Started as a woodworking kind of channel.
Really? Tell us about that.
Well, I started getting into, I loved Shanty to Chic when their blog was around, and Anna White. And I really wanted that Pottery Barn look. And being a creative person, I learned power tools and just dug right in. So I started doing really, really simple things. I would post them on Facebook. My friends and family would be like, oh, can you make me that? After I had my son and I wasn't able to go do the work that I had previously been doing the way I had been doing it, staying home was the option for me. And so creating a business at home was in my mind, and thought, you know what, there's a lack of DIY on YouTube. And
6 years ago, for sure.
I'm just like, okay, well, maybe people want to watch this kind of stuff. And just started filming it, kept going.
Wow. That's cool. And we are very glad that you did. I followed your channel very, very early on. While I was before I was even making anything, I would just peruse YouTube and see, and your channel was one that I had subscribed to fairly early on. And when I started kind of exploring YouTube, I would look at a lot of different people's channels, including yours. And like, I'm still trying to get thumbnails together, and I'm still trying to, work on my editing and things like that. But I'm curious.
Me too.
What is your, what would be that one big piece of advice that you would give for somebody that is literally maybe just starting off or struggling a little bit to just kind of get started?
Don't second guess yourself.
Okay.
Seriously, just go for it. I've learned a lot through life, and there are definitely a lot of things that can hold you back. I've learned how to say no to things that are very easy to say yes to, which I know it's kind of usually the opposite.
Sure.
But just try. I mean, if you don't try, you don't know where it's going to go. And I went for it and didn't let things slow me down or get in my way. I went through a lot of life in these 6 years. I don't think I keep very quiet about things and hardships, and I just didn't let any of it slow me down. I kept going. I found ways to keep going.
Nice. That's awesome. I think, and there's other people that have YouTube channels that are in the audience now. It's so much more than just creating a craft and putting it out there. The editing that's involved, You know, that even when you start to get to your level where you've got collaborations with like major brands like Super Glue, you know, there's definitely a time commitment and not only creating the product, but all the business side of it behind the scenes too. And I think you're such a great role model when it comes to that type of thing, or at least from our side looking in and seeing this gorgeous world that you've created. It makes it look so easy.
Magical world.
Right, exactly. And like everything, like my countertops have never been that clean.
It does not ever look like this. Okay. No.
This is like a corner of my little, like where I kind of create, and like this is where my like day job stuff happens too. But over there, like it's a big old mess right now.
Our my whole big area on the other side of my office is a demo construction zone right now. So
nice. So you're still working on the she shed and still adding. Tell us. I want to know, like, because I'm obsessed. I want a he shed really, really bad. I'm gonna have to get Brian to come to Atlanta and like hook me up or something. But
everybody needs Brian first of all. That's how things happen. I had this kooky idea in my head. Our home is over 100 years old. It is 2-story. It's a big open house, but it's just not laid out like a traditional new home would be. There's not a lot of storage.
Okay.
And I needed a space. I was literally working at the kitchen table and the kitchen counter, running a YouTube and an Etsy shop. Like I said, I haven't let stuff slow me down. That's why people say, oh, I just have a table in the hallway. Good, that's great. Like you have a space, use it. But I was in the kitchen one day looking out the back window at our big backyard, and I said,
honey, can I
think about maybe building a she shed? And he was like, oh yeah, we can do that.
That's amazing.
So he never hesitates my crazy ideas. He's like, well, and he starts joining in on the conversation instead of being like, you are crazy.
Yeah, nice. Little did I know the she shed was going to turn into
it kind of
like the size of your main house, right? So I am curious, how big is it? Because I mean, I've watched the video, so I kind of know, you know, the different sections of it and everything. But for people that maybe haven't seen it yet, tell us.
Well, I will tell you, and then I'll give you advice.
Okay.
It is 12 foot wide.
Okay.
And it is 25 foot long. So 12'8".
Okay.
And I'll give you some advice. We actually went to those storage selling places and kind of walked around some to get a feel of size. And we live in a historical part of our town. So there's a lot of building codes and restrictions. And we were only allowed a certain amount of outdoor footage. You know, I get questions, did you have to get inspections? Yes, we had to get a building permit from the beginning, electrical inspections and everything. And they basically said like we could have a certain amount of square footage. And I was like, you know what, if we can only go out so far, we're gonna go up. So our ceilings are 17 foot high.
Yeah,
so
you do have a loft. You have a great loft up there too, right?
Because I wanted to make sure the kids felt welcome so they could come out here too. And my son, pretty much, if I'm out here, he's out here too.
Nice.
But being that we kind of could fudge a little bit here and there, we made use of every inch we could. So I wouldn't suggest doing an oddball number like 25 foot because it does play into your materials when you go to purchase materials and how they connect together. So that's
maybe even up the numbers or something. Is that what you're saying? So like 12 by 24 instead of 12 by, got it. And so the room that you're in right now, tell us what that area is.
This I call my office, but I literally do all of my crafting at this countertop right here. Nice. So there's a full tutorial on how I built this. This is an IKEA hack. So this was all custom. I literally designed this whole space. I like drew out all kinds of different scenarios, knew the space needed to be able to be closed off because it was like your creative space. They get messy. And so I needed to have a lot of storage. So I found these really inexpensive cabinets, bought several of them because the IKEA ones were crazy expensive. So I kept budget in mind too. And when you do the work yourself, you save a lot of money along the way as well. But I needed the biggest work surface I could get. We actually expanded the space, was supposed to be 6 foot, and we made it 7 to allow enough walkway space. You need about 3 foot of a walkway space. And just to give it, it does not feel cramped in here. I can turn around, I can open doors, I can open drawers at the same time. It's not claustrophobic in here, luckily, even though it's pretty compact. It's 12 by 7.
Are you very organized? Like, is everything in those drawers like labeled, and do you have an inventory list and all that kind of stuff?
No, I try to keep them organized. You know, I have a drawer and I just throw all my ribbon in that drawer. So it's not like lined up and pretty, but yeah, I try to, that when you are organized, you don't have to be necessarily super duper organized, but you can be much more efficient when you know where things are. And especially if I'm filming and I'm like, oh, I need another glue stick, I can just open the drawer and grab it. I don't have to like stop filming, go find it, and get back to work.
So I have like this kind of system, but I have larger shelves. This is just all work stuff. But
do you have a video of your space?
Oh no, we're not going to do that yet.
Okay.
We're not at that point yet, because right now, I had a dedicated space at one time. And then when COVID happened and I had to bring my home office in, I didn't want to put it in my guest bedroom. I didn't want to put it in my dining room. I have a third or a fourth bedroom upstairs, but it's my attic is like unfinished, and the bedroom that's up there is just, it's just not good for working for stuff like this. And so I was like, I just had to merge the 2 rooms together. And so like now the guest bedroom has some storage for crafting. The hallway closet has some storage with crafting. I don't know if Brian like just builds houses, or if he wants to come to Atlanta and help me finish my attic. We could maybe, talk about something. I could help pull some permits, but it's just, right now, this is just kind of what works. But my bins are kind of similar to yours, where I know that this bin is all the, what I call outdoor stuff. That bin below is all the woodworking stuff. So it's good to hear that you're very similar in your organization, because it makes me think that I can be like your channel someday.
I've had a closet before too, and I made it super duper cute. There's a video of that too, where I worked out of a closet. I put a rug down. I made everything like colored coordinated. So you just work with what you have, and if it's a mess, you use a closet and you can close it. That's good too.
I have a door that will stay closed in this little space, and you
don't want to see behind the cabinet doors.
I think we all do, but I understand what you're saying. My boo thing is coming in town on Thursday, and there's a honey-do list for a couple things. So I'm hoping that my closet gets
We're going to attic. That's like potential space right there.
Yeah, I don't think I've got the money right now to do the attic space.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, there's like a AC unit up there that's 100 years old, and it cost me way too much money to run. But we don't want to talk about me this whole time. So I'm curious, what is your most favorite project ever?
I feel like I just answered this question, but how did I answer?
Maybe you did. I might did shake your head, everybody, if I already asked her this question.
No, you didn't, but I'm thinking, somebody at some point within all those comments.
And I've had this much of my drink, so it's very possible.
Like one specific project? Gosh, out of over 800. I mean, I don't want to just say this she shed, because it's like a 2-year project.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I can tell you what my favorite
they all just blur together.
You did and it was fairly recent. You did a compass with some hoops, and I have decided that I am going to make that for my front porch, to hang on the wall of my front porch. So
I want to see a picture of it.
Yeah, for sure. My front porch, and hopefully the pergola will be started on Monday. So, so I do want to talk about your like your sponsorships and your merchandise lines, and then I do want to open it up for questions from other people too. And people in the audience, guys, if you have questions now that you want to ask, because we're such a small group, feel free to use that raise your hand icon that's in the bottom of the participants section. If you pop out the little chat window on the side, or you can just like do like this and I'll call on you, because I want to make this as interactive as possible too. So do you have an agent? Do you have a manager? Like, do you have anything like that to help you get these amazing deals?
No, and I have one friend who I wholeheartedly trust that helps me with Facebook, and that is it. She just kind of says, make sure you answer this message or question, and like keeps me informed. But literally, I mean, marketing, emails, contacting people, 2 YouTube channels, editing. It's all for me. Brian lives this crazy life with me and super understanding, and does a lot too. I mean, to keep our family and the household running and everything. No, they usually just come to me, and I'll get a lot of ridiculous ones. Now, one suggestion a good friend of mine, another YouTube friend of mine, had suggested was to just make a separate email account, because I'm really bad at negotiating. That's not a strong point to me. I'm not a good salesman. I'm a crafter. So she said, make a separate email and say that's your agent or that's your manager, and you need to email them. And then you can go over there and just put on a different persona, be a little bit more tough, and they might be a little more receptive to that. But I do it all.
So for getting like a collaboration like super glue, or even you can even talk about one of your other smaller ones if you want to, like how does that come about? Did they find you? Did you actively seek them out and say, hey, I love your product and I buy it all the time? And
honestly,
what is some advice for us that want
to have the best luck when I reach out to companies? We recently wanted to do brick on the fireplace, and they were willing, a company was willing, but they wanted to push it off a month or two, and we just couldn't do that. So I don't really always have the best luck reaching out to companies. They usually all come to me.
Nice.
Super Glue, I worked with them about a year ago, actually, in October last year, and did one job for them, and they were impressed, and we worked really well together. And they said, we're looking for influencers to hire on next year. I didn't know really what that meant until they were talking, send in a proposal, and ended up signing a year contract. They're
nice.
Wonderful. Yeah. So I've worked with some not so great companies before. Sure. So there is that side of it.
Sure.
But no, Super Glue's been like wonderful.
Amazing. And I imagine you have a whole cabinet just dedicated to super glue supplies.
One of those baskets up there, it's getting low though, because I use it a lot.
Hey, Super Glue, if you're listening, we should have got Super Glue to sponsor this and to do giveaway or something.
Actually, we're talking about that kind of thing. So
yeah, we would love it. We do have somebody with their hand up. Is it Teresa? Therese? How do you say your first name? Teresa. Okay, I'm gonna ask to unmute you. That way we can hear you. So
hi.
There you are. Can you hear us? Oh, you're still muted. Let me see. Maybe I've got the.
Did I get it?
Oh, there you
are.
Yeah,
you got it. There you are.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey.
You're probably one of the first people that I've ever watched when I started my channel. And like you said, you got to just do it. Like right now, I'm very frustrated because I'm not getting subscribers. So I'm just getting very frustrated, but I keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in the best of health. So I started to get non-consistent. And the main thing is to be consistent. Like you just got to keep putting as many. Anyway, let me get to my question. I actually have two questions, if that's okay.
Yeah.
The first one is, congratulations on your line.
Thank you.
But I'm not sure what that means. Like, do you make the stuff, or how is that working?
That is definitely a dream of mine. I had some merch last year with like t-shirts. That was so fun and so cool. I wish I would have had time to bring some of that back this year. I just haven't had time. This company contacted me, and their business name is my grandma's name, my grandma's first and middle name.
Oh, I love
And
that.
so I just, those kinds of things get me. And so I did look into them, and I don't have time to make anything. I used to have my wood signs on Etsy, and actually just a couple years ago, so it wasn't that long ago. And I had to recently just switch it all to the decals and the stencils. That's all I really can fit in. But this company will take my designs, which is just crazy to me, and drop ship. So no, it's not necessarily me hand making everything, but it's kind of like the next best thing. Yeah.
All right. And
cool.
I'm sorry, my second question. This is like, I've been wanting to know this every time I watch you.
Okay.
Your filming is amazing. Like, it looks like you hang a camera over top of you. Like, you cannot ever see your body. All you see is your hands. Every time I try to do that, I'll put the camera right here, and you'll see my shoulder, and you'll see you never see any of that with you.
That's part of the YouTube life that you don't see. It actually is on a tripod over my shoulder. I had a contraption, and I still do, that goes over, and it was shaky, and I didn't like that. So I keep doing over the shoulder. But what you don't know is I kind of have to contort myself.
Okay.
So, even whenever I watch YouTubers that are literally having the camera in front of them and working upside down, I feel terrible for them, because I can't imagine. It's hard enough sometimes to work on a project right side up, but they're literally pushing you upside down. So maybe think about those things as you're watching, because I don't think some viewers even notice those things. But yeah, I mean, I literally do. I try to contort myself. It's not the most comfortable thing, but
I noticed. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you're so beautiful. You're
so sweet. Thank you. I do. I am blessed. I have the most wonderful viewers and friends. Like, they do. I notice names in the comments over and over again. And it's hard to get to every single comment, but I do read them, and I do notice them. And even when they come over to my Etsy shop and make purchases, I notice that, and it's heartwarming. It's like a huge group of crafty friends.
Yeah.
I remember one time you were so upset because someone said something about your glasses being too big. And I commented to you, and I was like, how dare that? I would just went off, and you wrote me back this nicest thing. Like, you made me feel so much better. Thank you. Like, oh my God, they don't have anything better to do. Like, you're amazing.
It's friends like you that make me keep going. Honestly, to be completely honest with you right now, my channel is very discouraging. I'm probably in the same boat as a lot of people as when they're starting out. My channel since COVID has just, I don't know if it's the algorithm, I don't know if it's people's schedules, but it's frustrating. I try to tweak things and change things, and it's just not growing. So I'm in your boat too. It doesn't matter how big a channel is. You're always trying to figure your way around, and it can get frustrating. So, but you keep going, and it's viewers like you have to create videos for your viewers, the ones that are there, not for the ones you're trying to get.
Thank you.
Tell us the name of your channel before you go. Is it?
It's Crazy Treasures. It's right there.
Perfect. I just wanted to make sure.
Thank you so much.
You're going to get some new subscribers.
Awesome.
Yes, everybody go over.
God, I will be so excited.
Very cool. Maria.
I'm subscribed to your channel too, of course.
You better,
because how would I have gotten on here? But
thank you for that. Maria, you have your hand up. Go for it.
Yeah. Hi, Shannon. Hi. Yeah, you're one of the very first YouTubers that I started following, and way back, all the woodworking you were doing, it was so amazing. you don't do much of that now.
No, because of the reno projects. You know, whenever your channel starts doing well and you start taking on viewers, they kind of create a specific audience. So obviously I still have put out some woodworking, like our bench that we used in our wedding. Obviously you see a lot of that in our renovations. And unfortunately, I know Jamie can relate to this. Once you start creating Dollar Tree DIYs, that's what your viewers are
Down the
wanting.
Dollar Tree hole.
Right. Like I did see you do the mantle.
Yes, that was a lot of fun. So I try to incorporate things, but put Dollar Tree into them, if that makes sense, just to try to make everybody happy.
Well, you see, I'm from Canada, so I can't always get what you guys do because I can't get everything, right?
Yeah.
But I love your Christmas channel as well.
Thank you. Yeah.
So fun. Do you leave it up somewhere in your house now always, or how do you like you have it around the mantle?
The actual mantle?
No, the fake one.
The fake one, it's out there in the she shed by
okay.
The big filming area out there. But I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it because we're actually working on the real fireplace in there, and that I'm really looking forward to.
But that's where you have your Christmas stuff to showcase, right? Along there.
Yes, I have put some of it on there too. Yeah, it's kind of just a prop. The fake one just kind of moves around if I need it. I've made the she shed be sort of a space like that. So my brick wall, I've made it to where I can move my cabinet out so I can use that as a background. My shiplap, you know, is a background. The fireplace is a background. And then I have also like wood and beadboard and stuff like that I can set up and use the flooring. And so I've kept that in mind. That's the difference between like maybe a craft room and like a filming space is I try to keep it clean, but then it also has to be really versatile so that I have different areas to film in and use as backdrops. And so the point of out there is to always move it around and not keep it the same.
Well, everything looks beautiful.
Thank you.
I think it's really cool. I love that part about your she shed. And because I know my living room gets destroyed every time I create a video as I'm there moving stuff around and putting stuff on the floor and then taking stuff off the mantle and putting stuff back.
Yes. Well, especially when you're doing like like I did 5 projects today. I filmed 5 projects. So I had to set up 5 different scenes. And then you're just like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm going to move over here. And by the time you're done with the 5th one, you're like, whoa, it's like, a mess.
What? Who else has a question for Shannon? I know we've got some folks out there. Amber, I see your hand.
Yes. Hello. How you doing? Excuse me.
This is DIY with Amber.
Hi.
Amber.
So my question actually goes back on what you actually were talking about in regards to your viewers doing what your viewers want. I get that you do Dollar Tree, so that's what they want, because I have been trying to move into like doing furniture repurposing, and it's not really received as well as like Dollar Tree stuff, but sometimes I need to change. So and then also like your second channel, because I also have a second channel, but it's like a family channel. And like, how do you even like because you seem like a busybody, honey, and I wouldn't be able to compute. So
what I do is, because I have 3 videos a week, I dedicate 3 full days to filming and editing a video. And then I have my
3 days for one video.
Yeah. Well, no.
I am slack.
I try to film and edit in the same day. Now, obviously, big projects is a little bit different, but 2 days are Etsy days, and then the extra 2 days a week are, like I said, if it's a big project, and then I have another day to film it, or if I want an actual day off, which doesn't happen, you know, that's me too. You know, I did my china cabinet out there. It was a great well-received video. I was shocked because it
I
didn't
loved it.
seem like a lot of normal non-Dollar Tree things were really
Yeah.
well, and then that actually was one that did. So I'm like, oh, now do I do some more furniture flip type things? You just don't know. It's like you could analyze things to death, but really in the end, do what makes you happy. Put out
Right.
content that makes you happy. If you are continually creating things that you're like, oh, I gotta do this again, there's no point in it. The Christmas
Yeah.
channel makes me so happy. That's kind of why this was an idea that came up last year, actually. And it's just crazy how things work out because I think people were just really looking for the Christmas comfort with the COVID
Yeah.
going on and wanting to start getting ideas early on. So that just all kind of fell into place. But that's why I cut down to 2 videos a week back around the wedding, because I knew I was going to be adding that 3rd video back towards the end of the year. And that channel makes me so happy. So definitely do things that make you happy. Not the Dollar Tree doesn't make me happy. I still love to do it. It's a challenge and
It is.
I love the challenge. I love watching what people come up with and I'm like, oh my goodness, but just, you do too, that's one of the things I've watched a lot of YouTube analyzers. I don't know if you do that. Do you watch like Tim Schmoyer?
Yeah, I watch a couple of them. Mm-hmm.
They'll kind of give you tips like you should know your audience and you should cater to your audience. So if you're a Dollar Tree following, you make sure you cater to those audience members and
Yeah.
maybe you could incorporate some of your DIYs like your furniture into your family channel. Even it'd be fun to watch. I've seen some like lifestyle YouTubers that do that. They're like, oh, we're gonna work on the cabinets today, and they paint and they put that on there. So maybe it's not a tutorial, but you can still incorporate that in.
Yeah.
I know that for me, when I created my channel, somebody told me very early on not to get pigeonholed, because you do get the folks that will watch you because they're Dollar Tree enthusiasts and that's all they want to watch. And just like Amber and just like your channel, Shannon, we're not called the Dollar Tree DIY. We're called DIY with, or the Daily DIY, or the Crafty DIY guy. And we're creating DIY projects, and Dollar Tree makes it very easy to do a lot of really fun and cool stuff. But somebody told me very early on, and I want to say it was J Money DIY, and she was talking about pigeonholing and how fans can be very loyal to one style or another. And my logo that I had created, it's like the Crafty DIY guy, and then underneath it, it's like Dollar Tree, crafts, thrift flips, this and that. And it's like, that's what I'm gonna do. And I want you to be on board and I want you to enjoy it. And if there's a video that's out for this particular month that you don't like, don't watch it. You don't have to leave a snarky comment, because I'm just gonna delete it anyway, or I'm just gonna tell you to go subscribe somewhere where you're happy,
Well, and that's, I don't do that. I just don't put up with like rude comments and stuff. But you don't know what you're like I'm getting ready to do a board and batten tutorial, and no, maybe you don't have the tools, but maybe you can use your creative mind to come up with a way to do it that you are able to do it. So that's how I look at things. I'm like, I don't have this and that. I bet I could do that with Dollar Tree stuff, make it a lot cheaper. Whereas I don't think people look at home renovations or woodworking projects in a way that they're like, oh, I have to go to the store. I have to buy this size wood. I have to use this specific tool. No, you don't. Like, you can totally make it your own.
Sure. I think it was maybe your channel, and I was watching, I think it was one of your backdrops. It was a shiplap backdrop. And I just started looking at it, and I have this house. My house is 75 years old, and these walls this is not the color that I painted them. This is what it was when I moved in a couple years ago. But this is paneling that they've painted over.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you can see, there's lines in the paneling right here. And I've literally been thinking like, well, what if I just went like this and started to cover in that line? And then if I painted this wall, it would kind of maybe look like shiplap or something, or, you know, a version of shiplap. And now that I've done that, I'm probably going to end up having to do that now because,
Have to do that.
you know, but you can get inspired by the most random thing.
Yes.
The official craft nerd has a question. I love her
Okay.
screen name, first of
I
all.
love it too.
Go for it. I think I have to ask to oh, I just muted you. Sorry. Now you got to unmute yourself again.
Okay,
What's
we're
your
good.
real name?
Thank you. Well, first of all, I am a big fan. So, you know, the fact that I'm talking right now and overcoming my shyness
Oh,
is
good.
probably a big deal. Jamie knows.
I know her. That's true.
So I am obsessed with your she shed, and I know everybody is, but that is a dream of mine. That is on my bucket list to one day have something as beautiful as that. But my question is, do you remember really when your channel kind of kicked off? I'm relatively new, so I'm very, you know, my next goal is 200 subscribers. Okay. So I'm like, you know, taking every little bit as I can, but like everybody, they hit their peaks at different times. And I'm just curious of, you know, do you remember when yours just kind of took off?
Well, here's the funny thing. When I did my 100 videos, I burned myself out because I was posting Monday through Friday. And so at one point, I think I only had maybe 500 subscribers when I was like, okay, I can't keep doing this. That's where the daily part comes in, the daily of the DIYer part. So I took over 6 months, maybe 8 months off. And all of a sudden my videos started getting views like out of nowhere. I remember Brian and I met at church, and my daughter was sitting next to me in church, and you know, they say, you know, each Sunday, what are your praises? And she had raised her hand, and she had said, my mom got 600 subscribers. And oh my gosh, I was just dying because I don't think anybody knew. I'm sure you probably didn't know that I had a YouTube channel in the first place.
Yeah.
And at that point, it just started to grow. And when I hit like 1,000 subscribers without posting a single video, I was like, okay, maybe there's something here. So I just jumped back into it, and I knew, you know what, I can't do 5 days a week. I'm going to do 3 days a week. So it was probably 2 years into, now I don't want to say like it's going to take you 2 years. It could take you way less. And YouTube right now is situated, which is aggravating for a longtime YouTuber, but it's great for new channels. I have a new channel too, so I'm seeing the benefits of it. But YouTube literally is set up right now to host newer channels. My Christmas channel, I don't know, I'm doing the same thing on there that I do on my DIY channel, but my Christmas channel is taking off. And I think there's just so much, they've already analyzed my DIYer channel, and they see my demographic, they know what to push and who's gonna watch it, that it's such a slim audience now. Whereas the DIYer channel, it's fresh and everybody's like, oh, what's going on with this? So
interesting.
Just what you can do from what I've learned is tags. Make sure you tag and put as many tags as possible in your videos. Don't skimp on that. Make sure that whatever tags you're using is also in your description. I used to do no description. Pretty much nothing. I think I put like, here's my social media links and like a disclaimer, but I didn't type anything about what my video was even about. And that is a huge, huge thing that YouTube looks at. And also that those keywords are in your title as well. So when you link all those, YouTube now knows who to send your content to and who to put it out in front of. So make sure you're doing those simple things. And you just keep doing it, because eventually they're going to get put in front of your right audience, the one that you're trying to connect with. And when you start getting that base views of subscribers that are watching, you know, that's when you're going to start growing. So make sure you figure out who your audience is, stay true to your content, make sure you have those tags, your description, your title, and that's what YouTube is doing. It doesn't matter if you have 100 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers. It really doesn't at this point.
Are you using anything like TubeBuddy or anything like that?
Yeah, I do have TubeBuddy. I've had it for about 2 months now because, like I said, I'm just so discouraged with the way the DIYer channel has gone this summer. So I was just like, okay, maybe it's a keyword thing, and that's what I use it for. But honestly, it has done zero. So I don't want to say it's not going to work. It's not going to help.
Sure.
Know that it is a paid service. So
yeah,
it may
I'm
not.
using the freebie version of it right now, and I'm trying to decide if it's really, worth.
I tried the free version, and then you only have so many keywords you can look up.
Yeah.
It has a limit. So I went ahead and anytime I've used it, I don't know. I don't trust it. I think
it's not a daily DIY recommended.
In the DIY world, I don't think it works. Maybe it works for like a lifestyle channel.
Good point.
I don't know,
Yeah, that's a good point.
DIY, fill in the blank. You know what I mean? We're not like
make it all DIY everything and use every word you can think of. Dog DIY, cat DIY, spaghetti
what
DIY.
For a while doesn't work forever either. This time last year I had a good thing going, and then
yeah, no, I get it.
It's gonna go like this.
Yeah, I've seen some spikes and some things myself, and it's just hard. Erica has her hand up. Looks like she's decorating at church, doing something.
You're being crafty while we're chit-chatting in the crafty chat.
Erica, I am going to ask to unmute you so we can hear your question.
Hey, beautiful Shannon.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Are you in church?
I am. I'm decorating for that wedding that I told you that I warned everybody to leave me alone. I've been tying bows and listening, and they're all like, what are you listening to? And I'm like, shh, don't say nothing. I just wanted to tell you how proud I am of you, that second channel. You know that I'm a big supporter.
Yes, I appreciate you.
Oh, you're so welcome. My biggest question is when you're going to come to my house.
I get that a lot. If I did that, I wouldn't make it to everybody's house.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't. I'm thinking about going in and doing a YouTube channel, but I've been kind of scared of it. I guess it's just the initial jumping in and doing it.
I was too. I have a friend who wants to, and she's got a lot of questions. It's just a lot of unknown, and the unknown is what is the scary part. But just like my Etsy shop, once you start doing things, you figure out the flow.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you do things wrong, it's not the end of the world. You just learn to do it different the next time. Just do it.
Literally.
More creativity.
I mean, I feel like you're such a role model for that, based on even just the limited information that we know about you, and just talking about your own struggles and fight and perseverance and
I don't think
doing it.
I don't think people know, I have moved like 3 times within the last 2 years. I literally had nothing for a while except for my business stuff. I've been through some really tough times, and I still have some of that residual.
I'm ready to get up and go get Randy. I got to go get my husband, and I just wanted to tell you that I'm so proud of you. And a while ago when he asked you what was your biggest DIY favorite project, I was sitting there going, she shed and coffee bar.
Oh, the coffee bar. Yes, absolutely. That was a dream of mine, was to have a decent coffee bar, and that finally. Yeah.
Love that.
But I'm proud of you, and I support you. And that's just like, without you doing collabs, there's channels that I wouldn't have found.
And that's why I do them.
Right, with Jessica, with a little bit of Common Crazy, and then with Creative on the Cheap and the different ones.
you'll be happy because next Wednesday is a big collab.
Yay.
Yeah.
But
And
I just wanted, now I found his channel. So, you know, now I'm
that's what I love
that's how it all keeps going.
I love
Just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. I so much
And
appreciate
another thing is for y'all that don't know, she has a live craft night tomorrow night that I won't get to be a part of because I'll be here at the wedding. That's okay. It's pre-recorded.
You'll get to go back and watch it.
I'll get to go back and watch it.
You know.
But y'all have a great weekend and everything. And it was wonderful seeing you and talking to you. And I greatly appreciate everything. You're a great inspiration.
Enjoy your wedding tomorrow.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank y'all for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you, Erica. Lisa Rowe Country has a question for you as well.
Hi, Lisa.
Oh, you're on mute.
I know. I had to figure it out too.
There you are. Uh-oh. Where'd you go?
Again. Hi, Shannon. It's really, really great to talk with you.
I'm so glad to talk to you.
Oh, well, listen, I just wanted to ask a question, kind of going back to your woodworking time, because we kind of sort of skimmed over that. And I'm intrigued because you mentioned earlier that you just sort of picked it up and started to learn it on your own. Are you really saying that you didn't take any like woodworking in school or anything like that? And is your mind the kind of mind that just does the math, or do you really have to step back and figure out your measurements and things?
I'm pretty particular when it comes to measurements. But if I have plans or if I have a space, and you can always if you make them longer, you can always cut them down shorter if you need to. Honestly, with anything, I just don't have that I can't do it mentality. I just have always had, I'm gonna try. Now, the only thing I have not gotten comfortable with is the table saw. But, you know, once I do something a couple times, it is scary. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure.
But you get over that initial fear. I get that, but you get over that initial fear and you open up a whole new world, you know? So
question then, if you have a recommendation, other than like a drill, because I feel like, you know, even girls can do drills, right? But other than a table saw, maybe what would be the tool that you would say, this is what you really should have in your arsenal if you're going to start trying to use tools?
I love that.
That's a great question. Oh, that's hard because I love them all. I would say a brad nailer. And you can get them battery powered now, so they're not super loud. They're so easy and they make life so much easier than a hammer and a nail. You can always do a hammer and a nail, and I still suggest that if that's what you have available, but they just make your projects go so fast. You just push them in, the safety comes off, you click a button and boom. It really is super, super duper simple and not that scary. I used to teach, you know, I do my live craft night is tomorrow night that I do virtually for my members of my channel. But I started by doing craft nights in person with groups of women. And we would bring the brad nailer in, and it was very empowering for those women because we did wood projects at our craft nights.
I love that.
It was very empowering for the women to get over that fear. They see other women doing it. And I did it with a friend of mine, so I wasn't by myself, because it was definitely one of those, we both needed to be hands-on and helping everyone. But it was great. People wanted to come back. They wanted to do it again. So I would suggest a brad nailer as and a sander and a drill.
And we're all going to Amazon and getting a brad.
Awesome.
Right now. If you have one in your link, in your affiliate link, send it to us, because we might get you the commission on it too. We've got time for a couple more questions. I'm sorry, Shannon, I cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, I just got a new one. I just love them. So
yeah, if you have the link, seriously share it with us, because we'll hook you up. So I see Maria has another question, and it looks like Eileen has another question.
Okay.
So whoever wants to unmute themselves first. I think
Okay,
Maria.
Chad. I just wanted to comment again that some people do Dollar Tree DIYs, and they look like Dollar Tree DIYs, but yours are very classy.
Hopefully not mine.
True.
But I find that
No.
everything you do is really classy. You wouldn't know they were from Dollar Tree.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's always my end goal. I mean, I'm not saying that some of them don't turn out as total flops and you don't see them at all. But I definitely try
Plenty of
to
those.
the detail. You know, it's funny because some of my other DIY lady friends, they'll say, like if we do a collab or something, they'll be like, my kid broke this, I'm running late, or none of my projects came together, I'm gonna have to start all over again. So you just don't see all of that side of it. You'll only probably see the good stuff. Now my backsplash, I shared that with you guys. See, that didn't go as planned, and I kept going. You have to have perseverance.
Yeah.
If you have a goal, and keep trying. And yeah, I love doing Dollar Tree stuff because really it's a challenge, and you really can make things look good for cheap.
Nice.
Well, they look really nice. Like I would put them in my house anytime.
I don't have room for all of them. I don't know what to do with them all.
I ended up, I found a, there's this is great advice for anybody out there that's doing this. I found 3 different shelters. One is an LGBTQ shelter, one is a women's shelter, and one is a women's and children's shelter. And they have like little rooms set up, or like little bunks, you know, little like dorms almost. And I donate the decor to them, and they can use it to decorate their spaces with.
I'm doing that. Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah, it's you'd be surprised how like
amazing.
And you know, unfortunately I started doing it like right before COVID, and so now it's just dropping off a box and then, you know, hauling ass. But before, you know, you could actually go in and people would be exciting, and we were talking about even doing some crafting classes or stuff like that. So you never know where it could lead. Eileen, you had a question.
Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah, sure.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi.
And cheers, Jamie.
Cheers to you. I've got a little bit left.
I love both of you.
Why didn't I?
I just wanted to ask, have you ran into anybody? Have people approached you when you're out and about and shopping? I mean, what do you do when they do that?
That's usually one of my questions, so good one.
I'm sorry.
That's good, because we've been having such a good time.
You know, it's funny because now with COVID, I get to wear a mask, so it's kind of nice because I get to hide, because I'm a pretty quiet person, or I'm like tunnel vision. I'm like, I got to make this project and I need to get these things, and so I don't pay attention. But yes, it's interesting. I had one woman definitely come up and give me a big fat hug. I love it. I do love it. It's not that I would be like, oh, get away from me. No, I love it. And I wish people would take pictures with me, because they're always like, oh no, I don't, because they know I'll put on social media.
I'm all about it.
That's so awesome that you're that warm, that you bring that, you know, and that's what we love about you, your energy.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh. A lady at my grandma's nursing home was just like funny stuff.
The nursing home would be a good place to take some stuff too.
Yeah, and I do. I actually take grandma some of my stuff, my holiday stuff. I'm like, here's a wreath for your door. Not, of course, not right now.
Sorry, it's July.
She hates holidays before it's the holiday, so she kind of like is like, I don't need that Christmas right now. She does not appreciate my craftiness, but no, it's fun, and I love it. And we went out, my girlfriend, I'm her maid of honor in her wedding, and we went dress shopping, and we went out to lunch. And so we didn't have our masks on. We were sitting at a table, a group of like 6 of us. And this woman walked out the door with her 2 kids in her hands, like walking, her kids were walking. And she walks out the door and her eyes just went like this. And I'm like, you know, I'm around my friends and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this could be really embarrassing. So she's got her kids and she's walking them and looking back at me at the same time, like, is that really her? She didn't say anything, but no, I totally would have been so warm and welcoming and like introduced her to my friends and everything. Yeah.
Nice.
Bless you.
Love that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
thank
Looks like
you.
Nadia, you're going to be the last one.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi. I didn't recognize your name because
I couldn't, for some reason, I couldn't change my name. It just stated Nadia, but I'm DIY with Nadia. I've talked to you a few times.
yeah.
I have a question. Well, first of all, congratulations on your wedding. Congratulations on your shed. I think it's all goes without saying, but what do you recommend for YouTubers and maybe just crafters out there as far as, since Lini kind of asked that question, for us to kind of get together, or maybe there's events that crafters go to? Like there's shows I know that, like, you know, for new craft items that are coming out, or DIY items.
Yeah, you know, I went to Creativation earlier in the
I
year.
saw that.
But yeah,
That was that.
I was wanting to do that one this year.
I hope they have it. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. It's not necessarily made for like crafters. It's a fun way to learn about brands and products, and that's what we went to do, was just kind of network. But you had to have like a business license, and it wasn't like open to the public, which we were hoping to do like a meetup there, but
I'm
didn't work.
toying with the idea of doing a crafting like weekend long convention. And, you know, I've talked to a couple people that are interested, and I think it would be amazing to have just a YouTube
I would love it.
DIY convention. And it could be Dollar Tree, it could be thrift flips, it could
Dollar
be
Tree can be the
furniture
sponsor.
flips. Dollar Tree, I don't know if they would. I would love that if they would, but maybe like, you know, super glue and slice and some of these other products. I'm working with Arteza right now on some stuff. So, you know, who knows, but I would love to do something like that, like probably not like 2022, but
Need
something
somebody
definitely
like you that can put it together for us and invite.
need to figure it out. I
Maybe
think
have
that
connections.
I think it could work. I think it would be a lot of fun.
I love that. I love being able to connect with like-minded people. It doesn't have to be YouTubers, you know, it's fun. Everybody has their strong points and knows like power tools or stamping or scrapbooking, and, you know, sewing. I mean, so many different things, and you learn from that. So I'm not against that at all.
Awesome. Well, Shannon, I cannot believe we've been on an hour and 10 minutes. This is supposed to be like a 30-minute thing, 30 to 45 minutes.
Literally, we're going to try to go do some like running to Home Depot and maybe Dollar Tree tonight. No, I don't know if we're going to make it, but that's okay.
This has been so much fun. It's been an absolute pleasure. I know that everybody is
invited me.
Yes, absolutely. You were on my short list for a long time, so I'm glad that we were able to finally make it. And thank you for being flexible and letting me reschedule you when I had my little procedure. And you know, let's just all keep crafting and keep sharing info. And thank you.
A community of positive crafters. I've always said, let's take the negativity out of creativity. If you want to start a YouTube channel, do it. People, there's a lot more positive than there is negative out there. So let's all lift each other up and become a big community of creators together.
I love it. All right. Well, guys, let's wave goodbye to our guest of honor. And thank you so much, Shannon. It was really fun.
Thank you so much, everybody. It's great putting faces to names, because that's the one part of YouTube I don't like. I like connecting with people, but being able to see faces is so much better.
Absolutely. And your mom just joined us.
Oh, finally, Mom, you would be the late one. And she turned her face off.
I see that. Cheryl, we're gonna ask to see you real quick.
All right, Mom.
There she is.
This is why I'm so creative. My mom has crafted my whole life. Everything I can remember, she has been part of and created. And
amazing.
Cheryl,
you must be very, very proud.
You're muted, Mom.
Yep.
How's that?
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
No, I am so proud. You have no idea.
Amazing.
Yep.
I love you.
Love you. Sorry
Well,
I
we
missed
love
it.
you too for having such an amazing daughter.
Oh, very, very happy. You can have her anytime.
Good. I need a she shed built this weekend.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I have permission.
All right, Shannon, have a good night. Everybody
All right,
take care.
thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Bye, guys. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye,
See ya.
everybody.